Greetings, I'm Vane Scott, and welcome to another short story out of my program, The Many Faces of Old Glory. You know, down south, one of the worst battles of our revolution took place in a little town. You could go through your whole life and never hear of it. Unfortunately, we lost that battle, but while we were fighting it, we beat up Cornwallis's British Army so bad they never recovered. And by the time they got to the Battle of Yorktown, there wasn't enough fight left, and Cornwallis surrendered the British Army. The revolution was over. The beginning of the end of the British Army began in the little town of Guilford Courthouse, North Carolina. And those good old boys, well, they fought for liberty under their stars and stripes too. But you see, they had a little problem. Historians think that they heard the flag resolution with different ears than we did. The Guilford Courthouse flag. What a flag. The original Guilford Courthouse flag hangs in the museum in Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina, and is considered to be a relic of one of the worst flags of the entire revolution. A relic of the worst battle of the entire revolution. Easton, Pennsylvania, you know, we hid the Liberty Bell there on its way to Allentown so the British wouldn't find it. Well, they're about to fight the army too, so the ladies of Easton says, well, we'll make your flag, but what are they going to make? Remember, the flag resolution said 13 alternate red and white stripes and 13 white stars in a blue field. What would you make if you had never seen one? What is so complicated about that? Well, the ladies of Easton said, well, they didn't think it was complicated. They said they knew exactly what Congress meant. You know, just like we do today. The ladies of Easton said, well, according to Congress, this is the official flag of the United States. Well, now wait a minute, let's go over it again. 13 alternate red and white stripes. There they are. They didn't say where. 13 white stars in a blue field. There they are, big as life. Technically, you could say this flag is as correct as the one we fly today. The original Easton flag hangs in the museum, and they still argue, was it in our rebellion or the War of 1812? Well, about this time, George Washington hears about all these crazy flags. You know, here we are, we're a new nation. We're putting ships to sea. We're trading. We're fighting a war. We're trying to get a little respect in the world. And we can't even make two flags that look alike. So he and a couple congressmen are going to get together and get the first official flag made right. Because, well, because none of these are. Well, here's where the historians reach the fork in the road. Who made it? Well, a lot of them want to give the honor to a congressman from New Jersey, Francis Hopkinson, because to this day, they still have the bill that he turned in for the design of the Great Seal of the United States and one flag. But unfortunately for Mr. Hopkinson, his flag didn't survive or any drawings or descriptions, and besides that, there's no proof that he was ever paid. So that leads the other historians. They want to give this great honor to a professional flag maker from Philadelphia, Betsy Ross. Well, she was paid. They've got her paid receipts for federal flags for the government. But unfortunately, none of her flags or drawings or descriptions survived either. So we can't prove for sure who made that first official flag. But the legend of Betsy Ross lives on. Now imagine the President of the United States and those two congressmen in her tiny living room discussing some of these flags. Well, the men, well, they don't like the ones with heraldry rules where it said it had to have white stripes on the outside. Because they said on a bright sunshiny day, those white stripes would blend in with the bright sky in the background, and the flags would look smaller. Looked like there was only 11 stripes. So the men decided to ignore the rules of heraldry and put red stripes on the outside. Well then, according to the legend, Betsy Ross says, well, gentlemen, if you're going to change the stripes, can I do something about the stars? What's wrong with the stars, they said. Well, well, the ladies that are making them are using 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 points. They're all different shapes and sizes. They're crooked, and they're hard to make. But gentlemen, with your permission, I would like to use a 5-pointed star because I can cut a perfect one with one cut of the scissors. Well, that means she can make the flags faster, and everyone knows that if you work for the federal government, you have to be efficient, right? You know, my father told that same story to a group of retirees from the Pentagon, and they didn't even snicker at that one. But can you imagine how nervous Betsy Ross would be if the President of the United States in her living room? You know, if you went home tonight and you found a strange guy in your living room in tight robin egg blue satin pantaloons and a cape, powdered wig, buckles on their shoes, a silk shirt, and a linen handkerchief. I mean, you would swear this was Elton John, right? Well, she's going to make one cut, and I hope I did this right, because I only brought one piece of paper. Well, let's see how this one turned out. Oh, well, gee whiz. That's pretty good, right? Just one cut. So, according to the legend, that's how we got that first official flag. But you see, there's something wrong already. There's more than one version. You see, this is called the Betsy Ross flag. The one we all know and love and grew up with those 13 white stars in a circle. But historians tell us that most of these early flags, those 13 white stars, were in straight staggered lines, just like they are today. But this is official and should be treated as such. The first one, the Betsy Ross.